JF Stretford, Paddock. This is Round Our Way, and joining me, as always, is Scotty. How are we doing, brother?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. Looking forward to getting some United chat. A lot going on at Old Trafford.
There's loads to talk about, loads to get through. We're going to be talking about Erik Ten Hag's press conference ahead of the Leicester City game, where he's been addressing the transfer rumours, who's coming, who's going, what's happening with Ronaldo, all that stuff as well, and his debut. We're going to be getting into all that. But first things first, we've got a bit of breaking news. So just before we went live, Fabrizio Romano tweeted, Everton are set to sign James Garner and Idrissa Gueye. Here we go. And confirmed contracts are finally being exchanged with PSG. That's obviously the Idrissa Gueye one. Garner will cost around 15 million with add-ons included. Man United, and this bit I like, will also have buyback clause in the deal. Just give us your thoughts on that, my friend. James Garner.
Garner to Everton. I think that a lot of people have been dramatic on social media when they've been saying that he shouldn't go. I think a lot of it might be down to James Garner wanting to play more football. I think I've obviously had a conversation with Ten Hag. Had this move gone ahead and we hadn't signed Eriksen or Casemiro, then I may have gone, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But I just think for him being, 21 years old, he's been he's had 2 loan spells. I think because he didn't have a pre-season because he was injured, I think that really sort of dampened his chances to break through to the team this season. So I think it's a good move for him. If we've got a buyback clause, then, it's a no-brainer, really, for me. I wish him the best.
Yeah, no, I agree with the Casemiro and Eriksen thing. I thought Garner would have gotten a bit of a chance under Erik Ten Hag before we brought in Casemiro anyway. I actually thought he might have got a game against Brentford after the poor performance against Brighton. But I think what sort of scuppered it for Garner a little bit was he didn't have a big pre-season, because he got injured, didn't he?
Yeah.
So when we saw the likes of Zidane Iqbal in Thailand and in Melbourne shining, and Charlie Savage, you'd have expected Garner, had he been fit, to get those games because he was ahead of him in the pecking order, a bit more experience, like you said about the loan moves. He's been at Forest twice, 2 good loan spells at Forest, also Watford where it didn't really work out. Had a full season last season in the Championship, played well against the likes of Arsenal, Leicester, and Liverpool, in the FA Cup. So, you think, okay, he's ready for whatever reason. And I think there was I can't remember, there was an article somewhere hinting at what you just said there about Garner sort of wanting first team football. If he's not getting it, you can understand from his point of view.
I think that's impressive, really. Yeah. I think it's impressive for a young player to sort of say, I'm happy to walk away from Manchester United, which might be a resurging Manchester United under Ten Hag, because I want to play more football. And if it's at Everton, then so be it. He's putting more faith in his ability that he should be playing more football. I think we've let better young players go in the past. And with the return to Old Trafford and maybe a bit as back in the arse. It's not as bad as when Ravel Morrison, is it?
No, I mean, the thing with Garner is, he's a good lad. I saw him in the under-23s a couple of times when sort of kids down to Lee, Sports Village. He played well, had those good spells at Forest, like we say. Didn't work out Watford, went to Forest, did well. He is a good player, but I think the big question now is he Premier League quality? You're going to find out. The buyback clause, what do you make of the 40 million or 15 million quid? Sorry, I've forgotten already what it was. 15 million with add-ons. Is that all right for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not my money at the end of the day. A lot of people were talking about why is Garner being sold ahead of Van der Beek.
Yeah, some people. I'm going to get into the chat in the comments. And, do get involved in the comments. I will get to them in a minute.
My take on that is, I don't think anyone wants to buy Donny van der Beek. I think it shows more sort of potential on James Garner. Everton may need a midfielder, had Van der Beek last season.
Well, he missed half the games, didn't he, Van der Beek?
Yeah.
He went there for, I think, 16 games. I think he literally missed 8 of them for injury, which obviously didn't, they stayed up, which is ultimately what they were there to do. But it doesn't help his cause when he missed that. Everyone thought with Ten Hag coming in, Van der Beek, he knows him. He's going to get loads of games. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many people out there wanting to buy Van der Beek based on his Everton 8 games and his time at Old Trafford.
I agree.
But yeah, I wish James Garner all the best.
Yeah, me too. Was Tech JJ says, we beat asthmatics, glazers out, inhalers in. Don't forget as well, if you're not doing, subscribe to the channel. There's a link in the chat. Hit that subscribe button and also get involved in the comments and hit like. Santa Notch, always good to see him in the chat, says, can we get an emoji for Scotty? Yeah, we'll get one. We'll sort out an emoji for Scotty. So that's when people are chatting.
I know what an emoji is.
No, I know you don't. I've just seen you with technology, right? You couldn't even use a phone a minute ago to do a bit of filming for
you should have thrown me under the bus.
Click your linky, eh? Yeah, we'll get you an emoji anyway. Where would we be without him? Andrew A says, selling Garner permanent makes 0 sense. Mal Dickinson says, sell Garner and keep Jones. That makes sense.
You can only sell players that want to leave or that other clubs want to buy.
Yeah.
You can't just say to Phil Jones on your bike, you know what anymore. That's what contracts.
And you can't say to Everton, buy him, can you?
Yeah.
And they're going to go, okay, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Who's the club that wants to buy Phil Jones?
It's not happening, is it? He's gonna be here till his contract runs out. Because isn't he on like 150k a week or something, Phil Jones?
Mate, if I'm Phil Jones, I'm just like at the beach, you know.
Yeah, he was linked with a move to DC United, wasn't he, at one point, and that fell through. Yeah, I think he's just gonna be here until his contract runs out, and then he'll leave and probably end up going. For me, I think he'll probably end up in the Championship. Get involved in the chat and the comments anyway. Let's move on to the press conference. Erik ten Hag had his press conference ahead of the Leicester City game. He was speaking about several topics. Anthony Martial unavailable again. Just on that one quickly. Does that worry you, that?
It does, because given the pre-season form and his performances as well, it wasn't just the goals. He did look very sharp. Once more, I sort of started to believe in Anthony Martial, and now again, I feel sorry for him, to be honest, because I think he would have felt a little bit optimistic with the rumours that Ronaldo was going to go. Does it say how long you think it's going to be out for?
No, I mean, I know he was out for the Southampton game. I think is it Achilles? I think it is. He had this Achilles injury, so it was a different. Obviously, against Atletico pre-season in Oslo, he got injured, didn't he? I think that was his hamstring or something, or his around the back of his leg. I can't remember which injury it was, but it was not his Achilles anyway. Then he picked up an Achilles injury against Liverpool. He came on for the second half, didn't he? Now this is what this injury is. So it is a little bit concerning because, like you said, good pre-season. Erik ten Hag obviously likes him. He was linking up well with Sancho and Rashford pre-season. He did well when he came on against Liverpool. Yeah. Settled Marcus's goal, I think, didn't he? And you think, okay, yeah, you know, this could be his season. And, you know, so far this is going to be our 5th game. And he'll have played 45 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's worrying given our other options up front as well. If like Ronaldo does leave, and we've got Alanga,
Marcus
and Marcus.
Anthony, Anthony, but there's no pressure on Anthony, but it looks like it's all about him and his goals. On Ronaldo, Erik ten Hag was asked about that as well. He said, "It is clear we need quality players. We need more to cover all the games to keep the consistency going." He spoke as well about Wan-Bissaka. He said, "Aaron will stay. This squad will go from September to a minimum of January." Also, on the Anthony front. I don't think Anthony can be eligible for Leicester. I don't think his work permit and all that was done, or whatever it is was done in time. But on the one for the weekend, he said, "I hope it has to be done by then because the window is closed." So I think he's hoping to see him coming in for you'd expect him to play against Arsenal at the weekend, because obviously he can't play for against Leicester. But you think he'd come in for the Arsenal game. I mean, we've got a few chats, so I'll get into that and then I'll get back to you. James Wood says, "Dunderhead FC, we're all behind you lads. That guy's a lunatic." Yeah, if you don't know what the Dunderhead FC reference to, then you can check it out on social media. You've probably seen it all. Someone who was claiming they're going to buy Manchester United is now taken to making videos about Stephen Howson. It's all very bizarre. Loads of people saying Dunderhead FC.
You need to get t-shirts.
I think that's a good idea. Lee Bailey says, "Gets injured too often, cannot rely on Martial over the course of a season." It's a
fair comment, that.
It's difficult to take too much offence to that, the fact that he does get injured a lot. It's quite telling on transfers, just on that. He says on the transfers front, Erik ten Hag, he said, when he was asked, is that business done? He said, "I think so for this window, it will be the end. But when there is great opportunity, you always have to be alert as a top club."
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
That sounds like
anyone in?
I think possibly, because you'd say no.
Yeah.
What do you gain? What you know?
Like, why would you not? It's still dangling it out there, isn't it? It's still saying,
yeah.
But it would make sense that there still could be something to be done, because there were quite a lot of rumours, weren't there, that we're in for, is it Sergio Dest from Barcelona now? It looks like he might be into Villarreal. There was also that talk of we had to get rid of Aaron Wan-Bissaka if we're going to bring in another right back. Excuse me. So there's that. Then I've always had, I mean, this is nothing more than theory. I'm the least ITK person you'll ever meet. I know he sort of addressed the Ronaldo thing, but you felt maybe if someone came in at the 11th hour with a big bid, or with a bid for Ronaldo, not necessarily a big one, just, we'll have him, we'll cover his wages, United might just go, get him out.
I think that might be the case. I think George Mendes will probably be, his phone will be going off trying to get in touch with clubs in the Champions League. Because there was links to Napoli, who were starting again last week, but I think it's his wages. I don't think it'd be beyond the realms of possibility that United might say we'll do half his wages to get him out of the club, really. Because if we can get a decent replacement in, and obviously we're not going to replace it like for Ronaldo, then I'd take it. I'd rather that than him sort of be there and be unhappy. I just think that could create a toxic atmosphere in the dressing room.
There's a really interesting piece in The Athletic, actually. I think it's Adam Crafton, who's a good guy.
He's sound, Adam.
Yeah, he's a really good writer, does his own work, and he's written a bit of a long read, as you'd expect in The Athletic, on Cristiano Ronaldo's time at Manchester United and how it just went sour. And there's talk of, him going to, I think, approaching Ralph Rangnick, being unhappy with certain things, being unhappy with Harry Maguire's performances, just being a bit unhappy with the way things were in terms of the facilities at Carrington. We know about adding with the swimming pool, I think, was the same as when it had been since he was last there and things like that. So the thing with Ronaldo, he's always got high sort of standards and levels, which is a good thing.
As you should.
Yeah. And especially, if you come from a left Manchester United and we were you just won 3 titles, previous season won a Champions League, then you come back 12 years later or whatever and it's all a bit of a shambles, you're going to be like, what's going on here? But there is a bit of it where you think maybe he's being a little bit overly difficult at times, or being a little bit more than just high standards. Do you know what I mean? It's a sort of fine line. I'd urge you to check it out. Go and have a look at The Athletic, because he talks about as well, like himself, I think there was, Adam Crafton talks about Pogba, Ronaldo, and someone else going to Ralph Rangnick and just saying, things aren't great, they need sorting out, and all this sort of stuff. It just seems like...
Ralph was boxing with his hands behind his back, though, wasn't he? I don't think he could really do much. Let me ask you a question, Jay, then. Please this time last year, when we were signing Ronaldo and everyone was saying, I was putting tweets out like The Last Dance and all that, he's coming back. And
you weren't alone.
I was the one who started it off.
Oh, right.
Just
sorry. Right, okay,
yeah. Where do you... Would you do it again? Has it been a mistake? Has it worked? Where's the blame lie?
I have this theory, right? You might not agree. Most people don't, but I'm going to tell you.
You need some theme music, Jay's theories.
Jay's theory, yeah. Jay's absolutely bonkers theories that no one else buys into. I think if he don't come United, he goes to City. And I think he gets them over the line in that Madrid game. I do. And I think they're the Champions League. I do. I think we're sat here now and Manchester City are the champions of Europe if he goes there. I genuinely believe that. And I think that for me, and I know it's bitter, I know it's too Bob, I know it's all those things that I used to take the mick out City fans for. I get it. But that for me was worth it, him not going there.
Right,
honestly.
Okay. I'll buy into that theory.
Yeah, like I do. Like if you look at such paper thin margins that they lost that game, and I think they'd have beaten Liverpool in that final, that I think he would have been the difference, and he would have got them to that first ever Champions League. And them lifting that with him would have been sickening.
God, yeah.
As annoying as it was, like everything that went on with Ronaldo, and you can blame him or you can blame the club, you can blame Ralph Rangnick, whoever you want to blame, whichever way you want to look at it. It's not even remotely close to how I would have felt had he lifted the Champions League for Manchester City. And I think he would have done. I think he would have, because if you look at that game, let's forget about the final. I think they did, you can argue that Liverpool would have done them, whatever. It would have been close. And even that wouldn't have been much better if City had got to the final and got beaten off Liverpool. Liverpool still win the Champions League. It's not much better. But I think he would have been enough to get over the line.
So what you're saying, it was a fantastic signing?
Amazing. Probably the best signing of my lifetime.
Yeah, I think so as well. We aren't bitter at all.
I don't know that's bitter. I don't know I'm going to get absolutely pelts for it, but I'm just being honest. That's how low we are. And Adash Lang Fassett says, do you think selling Garner is a mistake? We've already covered that one. Money's not amazing, but if there's a buyback clause. If he does well, we'll buy him back for 120 million in 10 years' time. James Wood says, Dunhead FC. Oh no, sorry, yeah, we've said that one. Let us know what you think. Ross Murphy agrees with me. Agree with Jay. Who else? I mean, that's fair enough. Liam Dunn says, Ronaldo hasn't impressed in his cameos this season, but are we quick to forget his impacts last season? He did bits for us. Nanye West says, Ronaldo cares way too much about his legacy to not give 100% in all of the games he has left at the top level. Don't really care if he scores for himself or for the club, as long as he scores, performs.
Can I have an opinion on that then regarding his legacy?
Disappointing.
Right, so I put this out on Twitter a few weeks ago. Ronaldo's, the most highest earning footballer in the world?
I'd expect
sponsorship, or even sports here.
Oh, right, sorry.
I think he's up there with LeBron in terms of like most.
Because his deals are ridiculous.
Right. if you care about your legacy that much, you don't need the money that you're expecting from other clubs, right? So if you want to play Champions League, that football, that much, that's your priority, that your legacy, you don't want Messi overtake you on Champions League goals or whatever it is. I'd forego my wages because I'm not going to be skint after a year. Do you know, what's your, is it profit or is it legacy? What is it you're after?
I think you make a great point. I think he could take a massive pay cut and go to wherever.
He could go to Sporting Lisbon. That's a romantic story.
It is. It's really strange as well because this whole thing about staying in the Champions League and breaking this record and or extending the record or whatever and going to somewhere like Napoli or wherever. I mean, no disrespect to Napoli, you're not going to win the Champions League. It's very unlikely or whatever you're going to do that. Even if you're staying in the Champions League, you're not going to win it. Or it'd be remarkable if you did. I mean, strange things happen, but I doubt it. But this whole thing of that's what's important now is this Champions League thing. There's as much a big story of staying at United and getting us back into, not winning the league, but back into the Champions League.
Yeah.
That's a story in itself. If you stay and you say, right, okay, I'm going to spend this season helping you. And even if, right, I know it's people may laugh and go, Europa League is the Champions League, Ronaldo, you can't expect him to do it. Even winning us the Europa League would be a story. Do you know what I mean?
I completely agree with that. And that would be the case if you had any sort of loyalty to Manchester United to have the romance there. But he's all out for himself, and that's been the hallmark of why he's so successful, really.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? Because like you say, that's what makes him successful, but it's also kind of a bit annoying at times when you're like,
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, come on, got a new manager. Come on, just give it a chance, sort of thing. It was strange as well because there was rumours, weren't there, at the end of June, I think it was. Not the end of June, sorry, the beginning of June, that Ronaldo was going to stay. He was happy to stay. He obviously knew we weren't in the Champions League that season, didn't care. And then it wasn't until July that he sort of, he came out and he said, I don't want to be here anymore. Not him personally, but his people leaked it or whatever, saying that he didn't want to be at Manchester United anymore, which that was a slightly strange point because I think had he said in end of May when the season ended, I ain't staying.
Because he did that. He did that when he left United, didn't he? Like he actually came out and said he wants to leave when he went to Real Madrid.
Oh, mate, he was saying all sorts of nonsense, wasn't he? Like I'm a slave and all this.
Yeah,
he couldn't have made it any clearer. He wanted to go, but this time round, it's a little bit more surreptitious, and it was his people leaking it or whatever. And then he did some cryptic post in here, and then it's like all will be revealed in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I think it just really undermines any work that Ten Hag's done so far. And this is why I said regarding the dressing room. How do you work alongside someone like that? Do you know, like, how do you be like Stretford, Paddock, and Joe doesn't want to pull his weight? He can't be asked being sat next to you.
Right. I mean, not Joe, but you could accuse others on Stretford, Paddock of being that. But no,
are you going to name any names?
No, I'm joking. Everyone graphs on this channel. But yeah, I get it. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult as well for, undermining the manager when you're trying to do this graph thing of everyone pulling the weight, like you said, and working hard and all that stuff. It's a bad example to everyone. You've got a player who's just not buying into it, and obviously it's Ronaldo, it's the GOAT, and he's sulking or whatever. So it would make life very, very difficult. And I think that, one thing that may, and this is more hope than expectation, solve this problem is if he doesn't go, the fact that he can't go after until January. So then it's like, well, you're here now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you can either be here, sulk, spit your dummy out, and have these little cameos at the end of the game where you're not doing anything, or you can buy into what's going on. You can increase your goal scoring record, not in the Champions League, but in life, by playing games. And also, with the players we have brought in and this manager, you'd think that this club can get results. You're bringing in, listen, we've not just brought in, one or two players that you go.
He's played with Casemiro, hasn't he?
Yeah, Casemiro is, one of the best defensive midfielders on the planet. You've got this kid Anthony, and all right, he's not someone who you go, okay, he's massively proven, but he's had 2 very good seasons, a very good, very exciting player. You can see why Erik Ten Hag wants him. Martinez has hit the ground running. Eriksen's still got it. Some of the passes that Eriksen was doing against Liverpool, honestly, you just forget how good he is, don't you? Like, bloody hell. Do you know what I mean? He knows Fernandes. I know he's not a new signing, but it's his teammate in Portugal.
Yeah.
So there's players there where you think, okay, Ronaldo should be up for this if he stays. It's not a case of, this is a terrible team with no one in it.
It's night and day compared to last season.
Yeah, I mean, these signings have come in. There's a new manager, there's a new mentality. Just get involved. James Wood says, unpopular opinion as a United fan, Ronaldo is a fan fave stroke cult hero rather than a club legend because his best years were in Madrid. Do you consider Cristiano Ronaldo a club legend?
He did legendary things.
Nice, I like that.
He did legendary things, but I don't think he'll ever be alongside the likes of Rooney if we're looking at contemporaries. If we're looking further back, nowhere near the likes of Roy Keane, Cantona, Scholes, you know. Did legendary things, but not a legend. There you go. And especially if he leaves on this sour note. Twat.
Dan United 94 says, you sounded so sort of,
I tried so hard.
Intelligent and, well-spoken there. And then in the end, the long sight comes out in you.
Yeah.
Dan United 94 says, Jay, please stop. This right? This is elite commenting.
Please stop.
Right, he says, Jay, please stop. I could have stopped there. That would have been elite. Please stop. You are fallaciously traducing Ronaldo's career in football. If you know, you know. Right. Jan Ingerhoff, who's been a member of the first team 21 months, thanks for your support, says, have read that Joel Glazer has refused him to go. Ten Hag have said yes. Do you think there is anything in that? Do you think the Glazers saying, you ain't get rid of him, he's Cristiano Ronaldo, he's our brand?
No. We had that last season. We had that season when we said we're not getting rid of Anthony Martial because he's the new Pele or something like that. That was just absolute bollocks, man. The Glazers don't get involved in that side of things. I don't think so at all.
No, I mean, the thing with the trouble with the Glazers, you can say anything you think it might be true. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's that bad. You
can say anything at all on social media.
That's what I mean. Like, so it's like, it wouldn't surprise me if that was true. I doubt it. I don't think. But the thing with Erik ten Hag is, you'd expect him to have control over who he sells and who he keeps.
Yeah.
And also, let's not forget, he's led the way with these signings. He's like, it wasn't the scouts that found Lisandro Martinez for him and went, yeah, we've got you a player. And went, who, that player that you've just managed for the last 3 years? Oh, him. Or found Anthony for him.
Yeah.
We've got you a player, who? Anthony. I know Anthony, yeah. Oh, nice one, we're going to buy him. He's obviously led the way, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's identified
as a player. He knows from PSV, obviously playing against him in the Dutch league. Martinez and Anthony signings that
he seems very driven in terms of what he wants, and I think he said it in multiple press conferences that we want the right players, not just good players. I don't think he's got the balls to come out and say that Ronaldo isn't part of the plans, because why would you do that? I think if he has to stay, then it just creates more drama in the dressing room.
There were rumours, like you said, about the Martial thing, about the Ronaldo thing with the Glazers getting involved. We know there was sort of some people looked at what Jose Mourinho was saying years ago and saying, was that a sort of nod to the Glazers? I expect more will be revealed, but with Ten Hag, I think he's his own man. I think he'll decide who he wants to keep and who he doesn't. And I certainly, regardless of transfers, think he'll pick who he wants to pick. I don't think anyone's going to influence him on that front. Tom Smith says, hey Jay, there's still so many rumours on Twitter, and they must be true, Twitter rumours, that something is cooking at United before deadline day. Do you think it's still over? I'll ask you that question.
Something still cooking at Old Trafford?
Do you reckon there's a twist in the tail? Get out. Jesus wept.
Right, so I say to you, you can sign anyone tomorrow, any position, any player. Who is it? In fact, ask you out there, if we've got a day left, if you could sign any player now for United, what position would it be and which player?
I still feel
right back's the position, isn't it? Really?
Well, I wouldn't mind a striker.
A striker.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Anthony's not a striker, is it? And even people, I've seen Ten Hag and others say, well, you play Marks down the middle. He's not a 9, or that's not him. Martial is, but he's got injury issues. Ronaldo is, but he's 37 and he don't want to be here. So I wouldn't mind us going out and getting an out striker.
Anyone in particular?
We were linked, weren't we? It's not going to happen. But you said you could have anyone. Victor Osimhen from Napoli, he'd probably be the sort of, if you could have anyone, but we're not going to pay the 100 million they want or whatever it is. Who do you reckon who's your choice? Other than Danny Welbeck, of course. That'd be my first choice. First choice would be Danny Welbeck. Second, Victor Osimhen.
I'm not too sure. I've not thought about it.
I can't believe you asked me and you haven't got an answer. I thought you'd have one.
I just came off.
All right. I mean,
I wanted to ask. The show isn't about us, Jay.
Look how you get it out of it now because you haven't got an answer yourself.
Ask the people that are spending their time watching us.
While I'm asking the people, you have a think on who you'd have. Christopher Matthews says Jonathan David from Lille. He was someone that I think it was Angelina Kelly who was on. I think she was on Sky talking about him. Jack Lynch says, would you take Neymar?
We had this conversation, haven't we? for merch sales.
Do you know what?
That sounds a very Glazer signing. I imagine Ronaldo going and bringing another bleeding diva.
Do you know what? I'd have Neymar just because I'm just basic, mate. I just love signings. I just love signings.
And Neymar got blonde hair. We'll have like a bleach sponsorship at Old Trafford with him, Lissandro, fucking Anthony.
Bringing in that peroxide sponsorship. That's what you want.
That peroxide money.
Never mind your title-winning teams and your Champions League and all that drivel. It's all about the peroxide sponsorship. No, listen, you probably think Neymar isn't the ideal fit, but if we got Neymar, I'd be buzzing. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be absolutely over the moon.
I was buzzing when we got Eriksen. If we get Neymar, I'm cartwheeling, mate.
We're not kidding, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In answer to your question. Emmett Toner says, not sure if you mentioned it, but James Garner, is there a buyback clause? If so, is the buyback price determined now, or do we have to just have first rights to purchase? I'm not sure on the details of that. It will come out. There is a buyback clause, I think, with James Garner. I don't know the details of it. So, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's one of them, innit? If he's successful there and we do want to buy him back, then it's obviously, he's done well. One thing that, say me and you were chatting before, like United, a lot of the time we let players go for nothing or the contracts run out, we don't get anything for him. I mean, our sort of track record with selling players has been pretty grim over the last few years, hasn't it? I think there's only Dan James who's been like, who's been sold for a decent amount of money.
For profit.
Yeah. Pereira went for 10 million. I mean, okay.
Well, in that sense, 15 million for Garner seems a pretty decent deal by the standards that we've set ourselves.
Yeah, no, we have. I mean, I think James Garner's probably one of the biggest sort of sales we've had from an academy player. Like from someone who's cost us obviously nothing. Jack Lynn says, or anti-dandruff shampoo. Yeah, that's another sponsorship we can have in there. Hit that like button. Over 3,000 people watching. Hit that like button. Let us know what you think about, do you believe we're going to have any more signings? Do you think that we can rely on the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and Andy Martial to lead the line? Jonathan Schrager, who is a friend of the channel, he's been on the channel before, pretty reliable on his Twitter and stuff, on his transfer knowledge. He says, I still think something may happen for Manchester United before tomorrow night. This is a hunch, of course. Please do not take my words literally. I said, May, I get told things off the record which I'm not authorised to publicise, and things can change at any moment in football. So you've been a bit cryptic there, Mr. Schrager. Well, he says he thinks something may happen.
I mean, he's not put that tweet out with no foundation at all, has he?
Yeah, I know. He's not, like I say, he's a bit more reliable than most, and I don't think he's the sort of just go, he'd say that without any sort of knowledge. If anyone cares, City have bought Manuel and Kanji. Another sentence about that, isn't it? Yeah, that's a bit weird. How do you think our business, just quickly, compared to other clubs, has fared?
I can only compare it to what we were like last season, and then that's the best way to do it. I think we've had a good window, to be honest. I don't think anyone saw Casemiro coming in.
No,
I was buzzing when Lisandro Martinez signed. Eriksen, despite Danny Murphy saying on Talk Sport that is an underwhelming.
Did you send to yourself then?
Yeah, I did send just in case they want to get me on the show.
Oh, right, is it okay? Listen, I'm a hypocrite. I've been on that. Talk shite before.
I did self-censor. Obviously not very very well. Yeah, but Danny Murphy said that he thinks Man United fans should be underwhelming, and I was buzzing when we signed Eriksen because I wanted him when he was at Spurs. And
you've always loved Christian
big
Eriksen,
fan.
yeah.
And like you said, the passes against Liverpool, and I just think he's got it in spades. And he's not a player that relies heavily on pace. It's just all passing ability. Yeah. And the likes of Anthony now running down the wings or running through, I think fantastic play. But yeah, I think it's been a good summer. Casemiro as well.
Casemiro, when we were linked with him, I was like, we ain't getting him. That ain't happening. This is just, I was very cynical.
I don't know how you sell it. Right, how do you sell Man United to Casemiro at Real Madrid? You're the Champions League. I don't know what they've got.
Series of checks. You just show him a check and he shakes his head and you show him a bigger one.
Yeah.
So you get to the one where he goes, okay then.
Deal or no deal.
Yeah. Listen, 200 grand, no, 220, 230, 240, 250. Yeah, all right, go on then, 270. I think that's how you do it. And also, listen, we can hate on United and we can say that United, were shambolic last season. We were, and we're obviously, not in the Champions League this season, and there's a lot of sort of surgery needed on the team. We're still one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Yeah, and
I
think I genuinely think our starting 11 is up there. Being one of the best in the league, obviously behind the likes of City, and we dick Liverpool. I know they had a lot of injuries when we played Liverpool, but I think our starting 11 now Strongest 11, maybe a centre forward, short of having one of the best teams in the league.
I know. I'm always wary of saying this because I was saying this last season against the likes of Brighton and Watford, and they battered us. But if you look at, say, Arsenal's 11, for example.
Nowhere near as good as you. I'm not talking on paper now before all you lot in comments getting started.
But you look at, you go, how many of the players get in our team? There's not many. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I can't think of too many, no.
Like, and I think there's, like you say, there's quite a lot of teams. Like, don't get me wrong, there's exceptions. You know, you look at City and Liverpool, for example. They've obviously got very strong teams and squads.
Yeah.
Spurs and Chelsea and Arsenal. You look at our 11 and theirs, and yes, you know, Spurs have got obviously Kane, who's just guaranteed to score loads of goals, and Chelsea have got one or two, you know, sort of stars or whatever. But you look at, you know, actually, for 11s against 11s, we have got a strong.
Yeah,
setup.
and if you think that we've to get a chance on pushing top 4, the pressure's over to Ten Hag now, because I think if we've got that starting 11, okay, we may not have the strength in depth, but if we do have a run of players being fit all the time, it's time to play ball, man.
It is. It really is. Ed C says Conte is the X factor at Spurs.
Don't get me started.
Don't get him started on Antonio Conte. Let's listen. We'll be here all day. Go and check out me and Scotty do our own podcast as well. Scotty and Motty. There's a link in the chat for that. Make sure you're checking that out. Thanks for your support on that. Most of all important though, make sure you're subscribing to this channel. We'll get to 700,000 subscribers by Christmas. And with your support, we can do it. Go and check out Scotty on his socials as well. At ARGH, ARGH Kid. You know where to find me, J Motty. This has been Round Our Way. Thanks for another fantastic episode.
Oh, man, great. Yeah? Great to be back.
Yeah, good to see you back as well. And thanks to you lot for watching.